I had a bully for most of my life. Let's call him Dick. Dick was the worst. He would shove me into lockers at school, knock my books out of my hand, track me down when I was in public, and attack me. He always humiliated me in public in front of many people, and it hurt me both physically and mentally. But the worst of all, he tried to kill my dog repeatedly. I know people say you can't hold a grudge against people for their past, but I never forgave Dick for this. In fact, I just never wanted to see him again after high school. I was even on suicide watch for how he treated me, but the school did nothing about Dick's bullying. In 2017, I was at a Best Buy trying to buy a new TV. Lo and behold, Dick walks in. I immediately told myself that if I don't say anything, he won't notice. He saw me and came over anyways. It's also important to note that Dick has a girl with him that I do not recognize. She looks about my age. Now I'm triggered. He said, "OP, what's up? I haven't seen you since high school. How have you been?" My response was, "Yeah, Dick, it's almost like that was done on purpose. To answer your other question, I was doing just fine until you walked in that door. Now please go away and leave me alone." Dick is now confused and asked me, "I'm sorry. Did I do something to upset you?" I responded by just laughing. After laughing for like 10 seconds, he still looks confused. I asked him, "Are you serious? Do you really not remember?" He responds, "No, why are you mad at me?" I looked at the girl and said, "Last chance, Dick, walk away, and we'll pretend today never happened." He refused and insisted I tell him. So I looked at the girl and said, "I'm sorry, I don't believe we've met. You are?" She introduces herself as his wife, and she doesn't appreciate me treating her husband with disrespect, and that I sound like a bully. So that's when I told her everything. "Okay, well then let me introduce myself. My name is OP, and your husband nonstop bullied me growing up." I told her everything, slamming me into lockers, hunting me down to knock me on the ground, and even him trying to kill my dog. I also told him how I wanted to kill myself in middle and high school because of him. She looked so disgustedly at him. "Why did you never tell me this?" she asked. I don't remember everything said back and forth between these two, but turns out he had been lying to her for years. He claimed he was a bully victim and always wanted to help kids that get bullied. Turns out, there was a lot more about his life he lied to her about, like his mom being in and out of jail in high school. After a few minutes of them arguing, I noticed that people are now staring, and I decided to get my TV another day. But before I left, I looked at Dick and interrupted both of them and tell Dick, "Now you know how it feels to be humiliated in public. Look at all these people staring at you." Now Dick has the most scared look I have ever seen on his face. The aftermath. I later found out through the grapevine that Dick's lying extended well being him making up some fake persona about his youth. He also lied about his home life, why he never went to college. He had a 1.8 high school GPA, and not even community colleges wanted him. Most of all, he lied about what he spent his money on. And I guess they were barely scrapping by in credit card debt. They had to get marriage counseling. I honestly don't know what happened to him after that, because about a year after this incident, I met the love of my life, my wife. Eventually, her and I moved about 2 hours away from my hometown and started our life there. At that point, other than my family, I lost contact with almost everyone from my hometown. So, Dick, if you're reading this, fuck you. You deserved what you got.